of the Year for Unsung Hero.
You all must be exhausted. I'm sorry to come late, but lovely to see your faces. And we actually wanted to come up because we feel like this project and Mum and Dad, weren't you down there to get to catch Mum and Dad share earlier? It's such an outlier moment for us to talk about this and to share about something that each of us were so intimately involved with, even Leo, Oliver, Smallbone. And so yeah, we're yours for as long as you'd like, fire away with those questions.
Hi, Herb with the Christian Beat. I just kind of wanted to follow up on the incredible success of Unsung Hero, whether you look at it in the box office or personal impact, and then of course the Dove Award tonight. Can you just kind of speak about the impact that this project has had on you guys and seeing the impact play out in real people?
Yeah, I will say this, music is tough, right? It can be a little bit of a grind at times. Movies are virtually impossible. I mean, it is the most difficult thing that we have ever tried to do, because you got to realize this, you spend years and years working on these things. I mean, the first idea was 4 years ago. You start filming it, you raise this money, that's a whole other thing. And then you go and promote it for about 6 months, and then you come down to 3 days. And if people don't show up in 3 days, it's game, set, match. And so it's extremely stressful if you're doing it for box office success. I think the trick is anytime you write a song, every time you make a movie, you have to understand why you're doing it. And if you know why you're doing it, the results don't really matter that much. Now, are we grateful that it did well at box office? Of course, because I believe in the message of it. I've said it for years now. I've got this quote locked in my head. Mother Teresa says, if you want to change the world, go home and love your family. We overcomplicate mission. We overcomplicate what it means to have an impact in society. If we just go take the people that are right in our sphere and we love them well, and we demonstrate a great joy, people will be so attracted to it, they will have no choice but to ask, what do you have that I do not? And so for me, it's not necessarily about how well it did or not. Our hope is that message would go out and permeate people's hearts. And that's what's happened. Could it have been bigger? Yes, but it also could have been less successful. So we're grateful for what God gave to us.
2 more questions?
Hi, I'm Micah with Herd Media, which is Lipscomb's publication. And first of all, congratulations on your win. And second of all, thank you for all y'all have done with your music over the years. I know it's touched a lot of people. It's helped me through some tough spots. And my question is, your music comes, so much of your music is rooted in your family story. And I think that makes it more impactful to other people. But how is that? How has your family story and your background guided your music career, and how has it kind of, shaped who y'all are as musicians?
Let's do, maybe we do 2 more if we could, if you're up for it. So it's really hard to quantify that answer, because from Dad being in the industry for 50 years and working in so many different parts of the Christian industry in its inception over here, but particularly in Australia, and then our sister Rebecca and James, and my joke is that Dad needed cheap labor and he had 5 teenage sons, so we became the road crew, and that's where we learned how to put on a show and how to collaborate and how to compromise, and those kind of bedrock principles that I think we carry out each day. And then speaking of family, what you see represented here today between the 5 of us is a small part of the depth of family that I prayed for my whole life, in that I never wanted to step into the arts without a fortified family, active team. And what you see today is just that, right as we were about to begin, Luke and Courtney took the leap into marriage, and then at their marriage I met Mariah, and it was this great gift. And so we literally got to fortify the 4, then 5, then 6, then 7, then 8 of us with their children, and continue to create that family dynamic, and continue to write from that. You know, songs like Without You, or Pioneers, or Seasons, or Burn the Ships. There's so many songs. Fight on Fighter for me with Mariah, and then them writing songs as well towards us, which, by the way, you're about to hear a lot from Courtney and Mariah, and they're the best part of Luke and me, so we're really excited about that as well, with projects they're working on. But yeah, family of origin, and then active family now. You can't put a price tag on it. Thank you for recognizing that too.
This is the last question.
I promise I won't try to embarrass you, Joan. I promise. Hey man, let's talk about the Unsung Hero album. That's like my walking out, bro. When I go walking, I listen to it all the time, man. Unsung Hero, the actual album. I love all the 80s and 90s influence on it. That's what, you know me, man. You know me, dude. So talk about that, and talk about how you guys made the decision to go in that direction. It was very conscious, obviously, like where you were, bringing Michael in on it, the Amy Grant thing. I just loved it all, man. So talk about that for a second.
I'm going to defer to Luke, because Luke, I was so busy working on the film that Luke was really the champion of the inspired by. So, thank you.
Man, I think that those are the songs and the artists that kind of shaped all of us in some cases. Maybe I'm showing my age a little bit, but that's what I grew up on. I've got this joke that, like, the music that you listen to between the ages of 4 and 5 and 9 and 10 is the music that you will kind of, the melodies and all the different things that are taking place in that time. It shapes your likes for the rest of your life. So when you start talking about a song like Place in This World, that is a world-class song. That is not just a good song in a certain genre, that is a world-class song. So to me, I also felt like that song warranted a reintroduction, because the truth is every single one of us is still trying to find our place in this world, and if there was if God Only Knows was, kind of a song that was written for people going through mental illness of today, Place in This World was written all of those years ago that was dealing with the same thing. It's just something that we just didn't talk about all that much back then. So then the other thing is there's all these other artists, and one of the things that we thought was interesting was, we grew up with To Hell with the Devil, Stryper, and it was like, how do I make that palatable in today? And that was kind of fun to try and figure out, and they've got in the movie Rhythm of Your Heart was, one of these songs that our sister would sing. And so we were like, well, let's go do a version of that. Well, how do we make that for king and country version of Rhythm of Your Heart? Sometimes music, you create obstacles, you create challenges, and you see if you can solve them. The ones that we don't solve, you don't ever hear. But the ones that we can, hopefully that's the collection. And honestly, Billy, as far as easy listening through the whole entire album, that's the easiest album for me to listen to from beginning to end, partially because there's hits that you just have, it never gets dry. There's these songs that take you back there, these memories, and so I'm proud of how it all came together, and glad that obviously you as a friend enjoy it as well. All right, thank you guys.
Thank you, everyone.